Hey people, it's me, Gabe. I'm going to tell you a story. It is called Santa Claus is a Biker, and it's basically a story about, of course, the biker who is Santa Claus, not the actual Saint Nick himself, not Saint Nick himself. But let's get to it, shall we? Anyways, but I'm going to tell you this now. Make sure you hit the like button and make sure you hit the subscribe button, and also leave a comment in the comment section below, and leave a thumbs up or like button for my videos, and hit the notifications for my next upcoming videos. I will try to post this video here in a little while, so let's dive right into it. Okay, here we go. I just found out I got paid for Social Security. Sorry, people, I like Social Security checks. Because I have disability, so it's a good thing for me. But I'm still highly capable of getting my own money for myself. Anyways, so let's get back to the story. Big Ralph rolled his massive frame to the edge of the bed and muttered a loud curse when his back let out a resounding crack of resistance to the movement. He pressed his palms to the side of his head and tried to stop the pounding caused by last night's party and booze. And mind you, people, yes, there will be a lot of cussing and there will be a lot of drugs involved in this. So bear with me. He reached, and when the nausea had subsided to some degree, he gingerly reached to retrieve his boots, which managed to work their damned under the damn bed. This done, he pulled the boots over his socks, which were well into their third week of wear. Then he began to search for his cigarette. And after he had thrown 3 empty packets to the floor, his sister came into the room. Now, his sister's name is Renee. I'm going to tell you, and yes, the guy who we're talking about is Big Ralph. Let's continue. After he came in the room, pulled open one of the dresser drawers, and handed him a fresh pack. And yes, I will be doing the voice with all this. You always sleep with your clothes on? Anyways, she asked with a smile. After lighting a cigarette, Ralph glanced up with a disgusted look on his face. Shit, how do you expect me to remember to get undressed when I don't even know how I got home? Besides, what's the use of taking them off when I have to put the damn things back on come morning? Once again, his sister gave a small chuckle. Well, I suppose that's one way of looking at it. What is that noise? Oh, it's a peregrine falcon. Whoa. Sorry, people. I just saw 2 peregrine falcons fighting over a mouse. My bad. Anyways, yeah, that just scared the hell out of me. I thought they were or I thought there was a cat outside because I heard ee. And I woke out there and I look, I'm like, oh, there's a falcon out there. Anyway, let's just continue. Anyways, once again, a few minutes later, the biker eased himself down to the kitchen table and stared intently at bacon and eggs his younger sister had set before him. If I didn't know better, I'd swear the damn eggs is moving. Would you like something else, Ralph? Nah, but I sure could use a fucking beer. The girl put out a Budweiser in front of him. It's the last one until I can get to the store. Big Ralph reached in his Levi's in search of some money for her. His hand came out with only a little change, and he stared at it in embarrassment. That's okay, Ralph. I have some left from my check. The security tramp slammed the money onto the table. Shit, that's the fucking problem, sis. You buy the food, you pay the rent, you buy the cigarettes. Hell, you got your own shit to pay for, and you ain't sure in hell ain't supposed to be supporting my ass. Me too. Sorry, people. And anyways, so Renee walked over to her brother and put her arm around his massive shoulders. Hey, what's this? You'll get a job pretty soon. I'm not worried about the money, Ralph. She was well aware how he felt about the money and had seen him like this before. She could remember when they had been informed their parents had been killed in an automobile accident, and the two of them had been sent off to a children's home because their relatives didn't have the money to keep them, and it always hurt him to have to take money from her, and he always paid it back, no matter how long it took. Anyways, I gotta get a fucking job, Renee. He sighed. Well, it's Christmas time. There should be jobs available at a lot of big department stores. Big Ralph glared at her with angry eyes. Christmas, he said disgustedly. That's a fucking shit you call Christmas is nothing but a commercial ripoff. Well, I don't agree with that on that, she replied simply. Hell, how can you say that sis? Do you remember when we were in the fucking children's home and they used to take us to see the fucking Santa Claus dude, and we used to sit there and tell the sucker all the shit we would like to have for Christmas and never fucking once got what we asked for? It's all a bunch of bullshit to sit there and promise a kid. It's all a bunch of bullshit to sit there and promise a kid you're gonna bring something if he's good, and then don't give him jack fucking shit. He asked for. That's a rip off. Sorry, people. I'm having a little bit of anxiety. But it's part of Christmas, Ralph. Don't you see that? We were less fortunate than others. That's all we had to make do with hand-me-downs, second-hand stuff. But Santa Claus is a whole story, and Christmas is still a fantastic thing for kids. Big Ralph shook his head. Yeah, well, I say it's all a bunch of bullshit, and to convince a kid some fucking myth is a fucking ripoff. Renee shook her head and sadly decided to drop the whole conversation. She left the kitchen and went into her room after dressing for work. She returned to the kitchen and laid some morning paper on the table. Thought you might like to scan want ads. Maybe you can find a job. Ralph muttered his thanks and began searching through his pockets for Valium that a rebel had laid on to him at last night's party. Locating 4 tabs, he cut off pocket and popped one in the mouth and washed it down with a swig of beer. This done, he pulled out the help wanted section of the paper, began scanning the pages. As he read, the bills began to take effect. At last, his eyes fell at one on the particular which he read. Santa Claus needed for a large department store. Applicant must be large and build and get along with children. Costume and accessories supplied and get along. Payment is $500 for 2 weeks. Hours 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. Below was listed the address, employment agency. The biker began to chuckle. There's a fucking easy gig, he muttered out loud. That would be the fucking trip. Me as Santa Claus. And so it was the Big Ralph Monster scooter trip. Massive partier did on the 11th day of 1979 arrive at the White's department store, complete with Santa Claus suit and a long white beard. Marvin Montgomery, vice president, store, started disbelief. A biker standing in there with a Santa Claus suit folded beneath one arm and a white beard in the other. You mean to tell me that you're the Santa Claus we hired through the agency? Try as you might, he failed to hide the obvious disappointment at the selection of the agency. You got that one right, little man. Old Big Ralph Gilligo is your kitty's little delight for Christmas wishes. Anyways, with his mouth open, Marvin sank wearily into his chair. Anyways, so I'm going to tell you this in a little reflection. So, basically, Ralph applied for a job as a Santa Claus in the department store. And you got the store manager looking at him like, oh my god, we're going to have a biker being Santa Claus? You know, that's like, he's like, yep, Mama, you're Santa Claus. You know? And yeah, he's basically upset because he can't pay. He's trying to pay his sister back, you know, instead of like living with her. He's upset he has to live, you know, has to take money from her and all that. And I can understand that. That's kind of hard. Anyways, people, that's going to be it for right now. I'm going to post this video here in a little bit. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and the like button. Also, leave a comment in the comment section below and hit the notifications for my next video. I will make a second video here in a little while. I'll talk to y'all in a little while. Peace.